Switch call, 1 p.m. and 2 p.m. we got level up. So every Saturday, we're gonna have either one or two calls, just depending on what the schedule is like. So listen, if you're someone that wants to, obviously get all the value that you can and use these calls, like I said in the chat, this is a tool. It's not just something that you watch passively. Go on and like you use these to the best of your advantage, right? So what I want to do right here is bring up the speaker, y'all. Drop some fire in the chat, drop some energy in the chat, because the thing is, what she's gonna talk about today is gonna be really cool, because last week we went into specifics of like how to utilize your social media, what it is, like kind of going into a funnel a little bit, but like talking about how you can maximize the recruiting, and we know that's really important for your business. Now there's a step that kind of comes a little bit before that, which is going into, how to actually get people engaged with your content, how to get them reaching out to you, how to get them, all this kind of stuff, which I know she's going to touch on. So it's going to be really exciting. And look, a lot of you are new. I know we have a lot of new people in the chat, and a lot of you were on the last call. So this is Super Saturday. I'm going to bring up the speaker of today. You guys know her as, one of our ambassador leaders. She's one of the OGs here. And guys, she has a business all over the world. So for the people that are new and don't know her, obviously, if you know her, I don't need to introduce her much because you guys know who she is. But if you're brand new, you're talking about someone who's built a business in probably over 30, 40 countries, someone who's done a lot of money in sales. And she doesn't know how to just build one market. She's built a lot of different markets. And so a lot of what she's saying, regardless of where you're from, if you might be thinking, oh, I'm from Europe, or I'm from the Middle East, or I'm from, South America, or it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. This stuff applies. So I'm going to bring up our speaker for today, Miss Rosanna Rose. Go ahead and drop some energy in the chat. I'm going to get my face off here and bring her up. The roses. Actually, that's cool. If you guys can drop roses, drop roses. I love that. Let me bring her up. Hold on. All right, champ. Spotlight's on you.
Awesome. How's everyone doing today on this lovely Saturday? I say lovely because the weather is nice here in Toronto. Where's everyone tuning in from? We have a lot of new members, so I'd love to see where everyone is tuning in from, my Europeans, my North Americans. Something I love about the team and the community, which, by the way, thank you so much for that introduction, Christian. And the music was fire, always. Christian with his fire playlist. But something I love about this community, about champions overall, and if you haven't noticed, we have people from all over the world. And I love to see that representation. I love it. Even in North America, we're so multicultural, and we get to see and learn from everybody, different cultures, different languages. And that's something that I really look forward to, because at the end of the day, we're all here for a common purpose. We're all here to level up. We're all here to meet our goals. We're here with a big vision, a big mission, and doesn't matter what your background is, where you come from, what country, what language, experience level. We're all basically here for a similar mission, and that's something that I love about this. But those of you that are new, welcome. If it's your first level up call, you're gonna love these, because if you're here to build the business, you're here to really scale the business to its max potential. Which you're here to make money, right? You're here to build a business. You're here to build your empire. You're here to make some money. We're not here to just have fun and laugh. We're here to make some serious business, serious money. And every single Saturday, we are having these level up calls hosted by different leaders, different coaches that will go into different skill sets, tactical things that you will need to know in order to scale your business as much as you can, especially with how things are nowadays with social media and how things are so digital. You definitely want to take advantage of that. So who's ready for this training? I'm gonna be going over basically how to generate leads through social media and the funneling systems that I've used that helped me build multi-six figures in sales, and that helped me get the success that I got as a complete beginner, really. So who's ready for this training? I want to see some energy in the chat. Let's get fired up. I feed off energy, so I have a lot of energy to give, by the way, but I love to receive the energy back, so like that I can pour and execute and deliver what you guys need to hear. Awesome. Cool. So let's get this started. Okay. Perfect. Perfect. Okay. All right. So as I said, the topic for today is lead generation and funneling. So before I get into it, for those of you that are new, a bit about me, of course, just a quick little introduction of who I am. My name is Rosanna. Social media, I go by Rosanna Rose, and I do come from a traditional 9-to-5 background. I went to school, did all that, political science, got accepted into law school, decided to drop all that and pursue entrepreneurship. I was looking for something like the right platform, the right community, the right system to leverage to build that foundation, because I see myself as a businesswoman, and one of my missions is to build a massive empire. And so finding this platform, this company to partner with definitely was the opportunity that I was looking for. And it's given me so many opportunities, not just with the business, not just with obviously creating income and literally funding my life through this, but also a lot of opportunity when it comes to collaborations outside of this. I've really been able to build my brand on social media. I've been able to scale a business all over the world, not just in North America, not just in Europe, but literally everywhere. And a lot of the key things came from this, really figuring out how to generate leads through social media. When I was new, social media like TikToks and Reels was still like something new. Not a lot of people were doing the TikToks. And I remember figuring out, okay, like everyone's on social media, but how can I leverage things like TikTok and Reels? My focus mainly was TikTok when I first started. And I saw that as an opportunity to connect with people, to create relationships, and obviously to funnel them to my Instagram where I can connect with them directly and get them on calls. And I'm going to share with you a lot of the things that did help me do that at the beginning, which helped me scale the business that I have today. So a few things we're going to talk about and that we're going to cover today. Obviously, social media, funnel site, forms, Calendly, and scripts. I'm going to cover things of how these tools are important. Like these are basically tools that we use. Those of you that use these tools, you know how great they are. But I'm going to give you perspective as to how I've used them and what worked for me. Like things that actually worked for me and gave me results, not things that I watched on a video and I'm just sharing with you what someone else said. Like these are things that I actually used and that gave me results. And that's what I'm going to share with you. So with social media, of course, there's 4 different ways to generate leads, to connect with people, and that I've used personally and that I still use till this day. And if you're not leveraging social media to indirectly generate leads, you are missing out huge. And what I mean by indirectly, of course, social media, the direct way is messaging people, message people that like your post, message people that like your reels, message people that, all of that stuff. But what I mean by indirectly is social media is like your indirect follow-up tool. You are showing yourself on social media. Of course, you are not showing just the business, but you are showing your life. But social media is not just posting TikToks and posting reels and yeah, we leverage lives, but it's not just that, it's a lot beyond that. So highlights, IG stories, polls, and lives. These are the 4 things I've used building the business that have given me tremendous results. And I'm going to break it down for you. So highlights, I'm going to basically tell you the things you need to have in your highlights. These are non-negotiable. You need to have these. And if you do not have them, or maybe you have them, but you haven't updated them in since last year, which I've been guilty of before, waiting long for updating highlights, but I'm always on my stories. So, I mean, and I'll tell you one thing, by the way, before I get into this, to show you the importance of IG stories, which I'll get into afterwards. When I started building the business, I was just posting on TikTok. I really, I abandoned my Instagram. I was using Instagram for stories and for DMs, but I wasn't posting reels as much. I wasn't posting IG posts as much. Literally, I will tell you, and I'll be completely transparent. When I started the business, I was posting maybe once every 2 weeks on my feed. But what I was doing every single day, like my life depended on it, I was posting on IG stories. And you better believe my highlights were always up to date. They were always fresh. And because I was always showing up on my stories and I was doing lives is why people saw me as an authority figure. They saw that I was always talking. They saw that I was always engaging. And so it was easy for them to have that trust in me and connect with me. So the first highlight you need to make sure you have is what I do. Okay, what I do. This is not a my story. I feel like some people confuse the what I do with my story. You can introduce your story, like give a summary of your story, obviously to give like a background, like history of who you are, where you came from. But if your highlights is like 80% your story, you've basically not, you didn't do this justice. Your what I do should be a summary of your story, what led you into the business, the products. So you focus on the products, the services, obviously the marketing opportunity, so the business opportunity. Then you need to talk about the memberships. Talk about the memberships on your what I do. There's people I see that do the what I do's and they are not covering the memberships. You need to cover the memberships and be proud of your memberships. It's the posture. Many people at the beginning feel like, oh, well, I don't want to put the prices in the what I do because it might scare people off, or they're going to hear all these great things and then they're not going to message me. Well, those aren't the people that you're targeting, because I will tell you this, and something that really switched my mindset when it came to this. I follow a lot of big public figures, a lot of big entrepreneurs and business people, whether it's real estate, whether it's sales, business, whatever. And I noticed that they have no problem talking about their prices. And they have seminars and courses and trainings. There's one I recently came across. It's like $1,000 for 2 days. And their VIP is like, I think, 2,500 for 2 days. And then they have a next level up, and it's like, I think 3,500 or something. I don't remember exactly, but I was looking at that and I'm like, wow. And they don't hide their prices. You notice these people, they don't hide their prices. Why? Because they know that the high quality leads have no problem looking at those prices and they will see the value. At the end of the day, we're not here to force people. We're not here to obligate people. We're not here to beg people. We should show our prices with pride because we know we have something that's really good and that will help solve people's problems. So show those memberships. And if you're an elite, especially, tell them you're an elite member. You can, something I like to say, by the way, is like, I like to say, hey, I'm an elite, and a lot of us, our success stories come from elite memberships, which is true. And then you get to say why, because the elite has this and this and this and this. Now, obviously, your what I do, you must have a call to action. Call to action for your what I do is very key. It's pointless to have a what I do and there's no call to action. Like, tell them your call to action, whether it's directing them to your form, your Google form, directing them to send you a thumbs up to book an appointment. Now, I will show you how you can leverage your what I do when it comes to, let's say, in your DMs. But this is mainly for people that just are passively going through your page. People look through your highlights, they click on your what I do. There needs to be something there to direct them. Now, the next one is you want to have something that's your story and about me. You want to have this, and you can get creative. You can have fun with it, but you really want to have this because you want to share you want to share things about yourself to people, because what I do is just like what you do, the business, the products, but my story about me, you want people to see really, where does Daniel come from? Where does Blake come from? Where does CEO come from? Like that, you want people to see really the background, your history. And that's where you can get more in detail of like maybe upbringings, whatever you're willing to share, upbringings, maybe going to school, your mindset then, and then you can obviously talk about now. So the key thing about your story about me is past, present, future. Your past, your present, what you're doing now, and your future, which ties into your vision and your mission. I'm very big on vision and mission. You always want to share this. What's your vision? What's the vision you have here with what you're doing, with your team, with the people you're mentoring, with the people you're coaching? If you don't have a team, then share your vision with what you would like to do with people that you want to help people that you want to coach and mentor, people on your team. Like, what's your vision with your team? You know, if let's say you're from a specific country and your dream is, the vision that you have is to, you know, launch in that specific country in that language, then share that. Your mission, you know, what's your mission, the purpose that you have, and obviously call to action. I did a little typo here, but call to action, always call to action. Everything, you must have a call to action. So obviously here, you're about me, again, direct them to your funnels, which we'll go over after. But this is very important. The next highlight you must have is a product highlight. Products, services. If you want to talk about the AI, you want to talk about, like, when I was first using Instagram, I've cleaned up a lot of my highlights right now because I'm restructuring them. But I had product highlights like there's no tomorrow, like a lot. I was always sharing things on my stories about products, about the Learn Lives, about the AI, about the university, everything. And I was sticking it into my highlights. Products, tutorials. Do tutorials. Tutorials aren't that hard. Just screen record, voiceover, do a tutorial, slap it on there. How they work. Just a little recording of how the products work, how the services work, what they are. If you're with your team meetup, someone is entering a trade, record them, how they use it. You want to show people, not just talk about the products, but show people that your team is using them, that you are using the products yourself. That's very important because we're marketing. Yes, we're partnered with an amazing platform, but if we're not showing that we're using the products and that our team is using the products, then like we don't look credible. And also what problems they solve. Because again, something that I always preach to, it's not just about listing what things do. It does this, 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 and this. You want to highlight what it solves. What problem does it solve? It makes things convenient, easier, saves time, etc., etc. And of course, call to action always. And the thing is with highlights, with product uses, something I want to share. If you follow makeup pages, something they're really good at is showing people using their makeup products. And the thing is, product and service highlights don't have to be so boring. You can have fun with it. You can do a voiceover. Like if you're not comfortable like talking in front of the camera, which I encourage you to get comfortable, do voiceovers. Voiceovers are so easy and simple. Like just record yourself doing something or talk about a product and like look at makeup pages and how they do things. Your team, something I encourage with my team too, and everybody is, you know, have someone record themselves using a product and tag you, and then you can feature them on your stories. Like it just makes it more engaging and makes it more fun. Another thing you want to highlight is your team. So a team highlight is very important. You want to show culture. You want to show team takeovers. A lot of times we do in-person meetups. If I were to grab, let's say, and I've seen Edwin do this, but if I were to grab, let's say, Mia's phone and I were just to record a story on her Instagram, and then she can post it, like a team takeover, like those are fun. You want to show your outings, meetups, collaborations. What I mean by collaboration is, you know, if you're together with a team member, record a stories together, talk about something exciting together, the team meeting together, team meetup, an event, content days. You want to show this, interviews, like maybe you want to do a little mini interview with your team member or your mentor beside you when you guys are together. Something I really want to encourage you, which I'm a strong believer in, is when you're out with your team, and I see a lot of people do this. You go out for team dinners, team outings. The only thing people usually do is, okay, they take their phone, they record when a team member comes in. The next footage is of the food, and the next is maybe a selfie, and that's it. Like that's what your team outings look like. It's just food. It's just you're just doing food. That's it. Like show more about your team outings. Don't just, please stop. Please avoid just showing food and that's a team picture, a team boomerang. Like that doesn't say anything. It doesn't. actually show more than that. Show funny moments. If someone drops their fork, show it and make fun of them. Of course, you know, as long as they're okay with it. If someone spills food on their shirt, or someone keeps spilling, creates a mess on the table, show that. People want to see you guys are human. And this creates FOMO. It creates FOMO with a lot of people that are watching this, and they see, oh, wow, like their team outings are actually cool. They're having fun. They're doing business, but they're having fun while they're doing it. I really want to encourage you guys to start doing this. And I like doing this. I'll give an example of like when I was in the Netherlands and I was with my Dutch team there. We were at a dinner, and Heba, I remember, was on a call and she was just playing with her fork, like on the table, just moving it around. And I recorded that. And I was like, you know, it's funny. To me, it was funny. And then the other team members were laughing at it because it's just like, you know, she's just playing with the fork while she's on her phone. But like little things like that. Or even not to put Christian on the spot, but even when we had the office and he left his Amazon boxes there for like 5 days, you know, I would show that. Why? Because it's funny. It shows that we're human, and people see that and they think of like, wow, that's an awesome team environment. So team highlights are crucial. Make sure you have those. Testimonials. I cannot stop preaching. Testimonials are very key. I had my Dutch team do testimonials in Dutch. I had my North Americans obviously do their testimonials a while back. You can do testimonials in different ways. It could just be a picture. But if you're doing picture testimonials, make sure you have a nice picture that you want to present, not something that's low quality or something where maybe, you know, it doesn't look the most professional. Like, have good pictures that you can put a little blurb on, and that's your testimonial. It doesn't always have to be a talking testimonial. You want to mix it up, because ideally with testimonial highlights, if someone's going through them and it's just talking video after talking video, they're just going to skip it. So you want to mix it up, because at the end of the day, some people like video format, some people like reading. And so you want to cater to both audiences, because if you're just catering to one, you're going to miss out on the rest, and vice versa. So you want to mix up your testimonials. Obviously, testimonials can include social media growth. If you have someone that hit their first 1,000 from zero, show that. It's a big deal. It really is. Show that, screenshot it, whatever. You too, like your own testimonial. If you started your social media from scratch and you grew it to whatever amount, show it. Any team members, highlight that. Maybe a video that went viral, show that off. Like, be proud of these results. It's all testimonial. Testimonial doesn't have to just be like, oh, you know, this platform changed my life. A lot of different things you can mix up. Events, when you're at events, do testimonials at events, interview your team, interview, I don't know, your mentor, leader, whoever. If someone was at an event for the first time, interview them and put them on your highlight or your stories, which obviously you put into your highlight, and ask them like, how do you, in one word, how would you describe this event? You know, and like, you want to put that. Rank ups, obviously you want to celebrate people that hit milestones, interviews. Like, this is very important. You want to have this because people don't want to just hear you say that things are great. They want to hear other people. They want to see the proof, because this builds trust. Like, what do you all do when you're buying something? You go to the review section, correct? Like, you go look at the reviews. Obviously, you know, some reviews are, you know, like from some places they're mixed, but ideally that's what you do. You go look at reviews, you go look at testimonials, because you want to see, you're curious, what are people saying about this? And it's exactly it. Now, IG stories, let's move on to IG stories. How can you generate leads through IG stories? Obviously, aside from, you know, highlights, which, by the way, in your highlights, this is a great way to generate leads because it's passive. It's like your store. You have a store, you want to make sure you have things a certain way, so people come into the store, they don't even need to talk to you. They see, oh, this section is, you know, travel, this section is this. They know where to go. Like a bookstore is categorized into different departments. Your highlights is like a department. Your store, your highlights are the departments in your store. And so it navigates people in an organized way, very systemized, which I'm a big fan of systems. And it's a passive way, automated way to generate leads, because they see this stuff. You don't even need to talk to them and they'll message you from it. I have gotten many signups for my highlights. I will say this, many signups, people that forward me my highlights and message me. Now IG stories, of course, a great way to generate leads through IG stories, series, and themed days. Many beginners at the beginning, they say, oh, I don't know what to post on my stories. First of all, if you guys are posting less than 6 times a day on your stories, you are losing big money. Okay, now, according to the Instagram algorithm, they're saying 6 to 10 times a day. Some people post 20 stories, some people post 30 stories. It looks like little ants. Minimum, I like to say 6. Obviously, I like to do 10 is a good number, but minimum 6. Some of you are posting 1 story a day and you're complaining why you're not getting appointments and signups. You are doing a disservice to your business. IG stories are so important, very, very important. And if you're struggling with what to post on your stories, series, theme days, I'm huge on this. Behind the scenes, team calls, you're showing team calls, obviously calls like this, you want to show that on your stories. Why? Because it shows people there's a real community, a real team, there's real trainings happening. You're not just speaking it, it's actually happening. And you're learning value from these calls. Same thing with the Champions University and all the other calls. Events, online, offline, you want to show that on your stories. A lot of times we only promote things on our stories that are just for like the public. You want to show things that are even just for the team, because it creates FOMO. Travel, always call to action on your stories. You want to spam your stories with calls to action. That's something that when I first started, especially, I was always doing, always a call to action. I was using forms a lot. I still do, but when I first started, like that was my main funnel, forms, Google Forms, and I was directing people there all the time. So this is what I mean by series and themes. We have this, by the way. This is something that I put together for, what do you call it, for theme days for social media. Now, this is just like something you can follow to give you ideas. And again, it also helps with your highlights. You can do daily stuff, weekly, monthly. If you want to plan like a monthly day thing, you can do that. But you generate leads by always sharing something related to what you do. And that's very important. Something I did with my team was 21 days of crypto. It was a huge success because every single day we were sharing facts about crypto, and there was always a call to action. And guess what? It's something they could add into their highlights. Campaigns, you want to post your campaigns every single day on your highlights. Trip countdowns or behind the scenes. As an example, if you have a trip or event coming up, do like a 7-day countdown, and every day on your story, share how you're preparing for this event or this trip. People like to see that. I've done that before. I show what things that I'm picking up, things that I'm buying, whatever, like people like this. And again, you might think, oh, well, how is this generating leads? It generates leads because it's like an indirect way. People are always watching your stories and it sounds less salesy, less pitchy. And because you're doing this, again, people get to know you, you're building that trust, and it's creating FOMO. So people that see this all the time, they're gonna be inclined to message you. I will tell you that. Now with polls, you want to do polls. I'm huge on polls. I'm always doing polls. Like polls are my favorite thing, and polls have helped me get signups too. So you can do polls. This is an example of a poll I did. Polls can be business, investing, obviously business like the network marketing side, investing, of course, the trading, investing, different markets, or personal polls. personal polls, you want people to get to know you, so it's very important. Always use polls to engage your audience, indirectly collect leads, indirectly follow up, and builds credibility. Why do you want to do polls? Well, number one, if I know I have a campaign coming up, I'm going to create a poll to see what my audience is interested in. I'll do polls of like, oh, what are you looking to learn more about? And I'll put digital marketing, investing, trading, both. I like that poll, and I get to see who picks what. And based on that, I know who to, did a poll just pop up on my screen? I know who to, hold on a sec. How do I remove this? Okay. This poll just covered my whole screen. Christian, was that you?
Let's test out a new feature, you know.
Oh God. Okay. Yeah. So but that's exactly it. So I do these things because then I see who's answering these polls, and guess what? I message them. Or if I'll do polls where it's like who is familiar with crypto, and I'll put different options like no, but I'd love to learn. Yes, I have experience with crypto, or what is crypto, like different options. And even the people that say yes, they have experience, I will message them. You should message them, because just because they have experience doesn't mean they can't use what we have. Because some people say they have experience, but they haven't seen results, or they say they have experience, but maybe it's just been like 2 weeks. So you want to engage with them and start those conversations of like, oh, hey, thanks for voting on my poll. I see you're in the crypto space. How long have you been doing it for? If it's a girl, to all my ladies out there, oh my God, you want to leverage this so much. You can definitely say, hey, love to see more girls in the crypto space. That's awesome. How long have you been doing it for? And just see what they say. And if they say, oh, I've been doing it for like 2 years, even if they've been doing it for 2 years, doesn't mean they're successful, doesn't mean that they're actually like experiencing what they want to experience. Because I've come across people like that. So leverage polls. This is a great way to generate leads, great way to start conversations, to get to know your audience, and to build that credibility and that presence for you too, because it shows that you're talking about these things all the time. Now with lives are very important. Okay, back when I was first building the business, I was going live on TikTok every single day, sometimes even twice a day, like every single day, which now I'm starting to incorporate again. I actually like lives. I enjoy them, but I got a lot of signups from lives. I got a lot of elites from lives. And even like when I only had maybe 10 people on a live, I still got signups from them. I had 10, whether it was 10, 20, 50, 100, I got leads. And so for Instagram, TikTok, and other. So obviously you want to do lives on Instagram, you want to do lives on TikTok, you need 1,000 plus for that. But let me break down how I used lives and how I plan to use lives moving forward still. So IG lives, the cool thing about this is that you can post them on your feed, correct? Now, a lot of you do like lives with like your team, your mentors, that's cool. But how about you do lives to share more about the products or give a tutorial? If you do a live giving a tutorial and you post it on your feed, like that's something people can look at. Again, it creates passive leads because people are seeing these things. Product launches. If there's a product launch, it's exciting, go on live, create hype around it. There's a campaign, go on live, create hype around it, and post it on your feed. If it's something that is happening right now, pin it on your feed. And create a nice cover photo. Okay, no one wants to see a live and like the cover photo is you with your mouth open. Like create something presentable, or even a title. Product massive launch, or if you're launching a country, whatever country launch, like do that. Trips. If there's a huge trip coming up, announce it, post it on your feed. How-tos, how-tos, tutorials. Again, do a live on it. Lives don't always have to be just you talking and Q&As. With Instagram, you want to leverage lives differently because you can post them on your feed. And again, it's people are going through your stuff, and the lives don't have to be long. It could just be like 10, 15 minutes and just have it there. There's so much you can do. And again, it creates passive leads. If you're not doing this, I encourage you to do it. Like use your lives to your advantage. On TikTok, you can't post it on the feed, but you can structure it in a way where you funnel people to your Instagram. So when you go on lives, what I did a lot on TikTok lives was I barely collaborated, but I see a lot of you collaborate, which is great. I did them mainly on my own. I would here and there collaborate with like some of the team, but the key topics I would talk about is my story, like what I do, the business, so how to make money with social media, and like Q&A, or like I would do just a live talking about crypto, and that's it. And because I did a lot of lives talking about crypto, I got a lot of people messaging wanting to learn about crypto, and that's how I got a lot of premium and elites from TikTok lives. Now, of course, there's other platforms like Twitch, Facebook, YouTube that you can do lives on. You know, that's totally cool. If you guys, I haven't personally done lives on those, but for those of you maybe that have more of a Facebook presence, you could leverage that. Twitch, maybe you're gaming, but you're also talking about the business. Like it's, who knows, like, you know, like you can leverage lives in different ways, but for IG and TikTok, this is specifically how I did it that helped me generate leads. Funnel sites. Now let's get into funneling, because we spoke about how to generate leads on social media. Okay, so let me just go back here for a sec. We spoke about highlights, IG stories, polls, and lives. Now, if you leverage these things properly, the next step obviously is, okay, well, where do I funnel these people? How do I funnel? How do I make things more convenient, more automated for me? I'm a huge fan of automation, not just with AI like crypto, but if I can find ways to automate my business, it's better. You know, you want to obviously work hard, but you also want to work smart. You want to work smart. You don't just want to work hard. Some people say don't work hard, work smart. Obviously, you got to put work into this, but you also want to be smart about your work. So, which by the way, the what I do is just to show you, like, shout out to Umayma for her success with the enrollments, but she's been leveraging the what I do highlight. And something I want to say too is the what I do's. Some people have it in text format, which is cool, but I encourage you, the what I do, to have it you actually speaking, because people see your personality, they hear it. Something I had recommended to her, because she's on a trip and she's not able to get on, you know, op call, like one-on-one calls like that are long. I mentioned to her, no, why don't you redo your what I do, but like talk in it. She did it, and now look at her success, because she's leveraging the what I do, and really she's just getting on calls to, you know, get them started. And so that's the importance of automating your business, because you could be on a family trip, you could be on a business trip. A lot of times business slows down when we're at event trips, but if you have things to automate your business to funnel people, then that's not going to be a situation. So your funnel site is the first thing you want to make sure you do. Now, there's a lot of different sites. There's Linktree, there's Beacons, there's Milkshake. There's even some other websites that I've used that you have to apply. It's more like, I guess, creator websites that you have to actually apply and get approved, which I have two that I have on the side. But Beacons, I first started off using Milkshake, by the way. What I liked about Milkshake is that you can incorporate different pages. And I had, the first page was about me. The second page was about the marketing opportunity. And then the third page was about investing and trading. And then the fourth page was my links. That's how I had my Milkshake set up. And the reason why I liked that, because to me, it was like a mini website. And if people actually read through that, then they're already, you know, qualifying indirectly. With the beacons, you can do that as well. I have an old screenshot here. Well, this is my old beacon setup. I have a newer setup, but same thing. The homepage with your links, have a nice picture. Something I want you guys to take in consideration when you're creating your funnel pages and your funnel sites. Show up how you want people to see you and how you want people to take you. For the guys and girls, you know, we're in a business, so you want to show up professional. Doesn't mean you have to be covered up from, you know, head to toe, but look professional. You know, for the guys, if you have a shirtless picture, showing off your muscles and your biceps and stuff, you know, like we're not in the fitness network marketing niche, so that wouldn't work here. Okay. We're in investing and trading. Same with the girls. You know, I love the girls, but you know, when you see girls that have their things hanging out everywhere, like, you don't want that either. That doesn't look professional, and you're going to attract the wrong people. So make sure, guys and girls, no pecs, no muscles, all that. Like, if we were in the fitness niche, that would be, I feel like, appropriate, because obviously you want to show off, you know, whatever. But we're investing in trading. So, you know, take that into consideration. Make sure you have a professional, it doesn't have to be professional picture. You could take good pictures with your iPhone. What I mean is, make sure it's not like blurry, pixelated, and make sure it's like a close-up, a decent close-up of your face, not like a far away shot where you can barely see who you are. Those are some things to keep in mind, of course. And you know, having your links, like things you want to have on your beacons, obviously, is your Google Forms, your Calendly, any affiliate sites. You know, a lot of us use crypto platforms, exchanges. There's you know, perks that come with it, maybe instead like affiliate perks. Obviously, your other social media platforms, you want to direct people to your other social media platforms. And you want to make sure you have all that. And obviously your Telegram and a brief description of what you do. Your Google Forms. Now, I've always used Google Forms. And the first thing I was using, actually, when I was building the business, when I first started, was Forms. I did not get on calls with people until they filled out my form first. That's how I did things. That's how I got massive success. And again, you want to make sure you have a nice banner with your forms. It's not hard. It doesn't have to be super fancy either. You don't need to hire someone to do it. If you have someone to do marketing, cool, but don't feel like just because you don't have that it's impossible. Use apps like Canva to do it. Create a little banner. It doesn't even have to be super fancy, like just a picture, a nice picture of yourself with your name or your brand, and just have it there so it looks appealing. And obviously mentorship, I have here mentorship with Rosanna Rose. You can have mentorship with Michelle, mentorship with, you know, whoever. Main thing is obviously a little description, but you always want to have the pricing in your forms. Again, same thing with your What I Do. Do not shy away from pricing, because you qualify people that way. I like to add an extra question of what's the biggest reason you like to get started with Rosanna Rose as your coach and begin your entrepreneurship journey, because then I really get to see, like, what is it that attracted them to me? Like, what is it that they see in me that they want to work with me? And the reason why Google Forms are good is because you're qualifying people. So it makes the conversation on the Zoom call or on the call so much easier. And how I used to do it was, again, before I'd get on a call, I would send them the Google form. I would see if they qualified, obviously based on age and stuff, where they're from. And then if they did, then I'd get on a call with them. Google Forms has a spreadsheet option where you can see the list of all the names of people that have filled out your form, which is great, because then you see the countries. Like, if you're someone that has like 300 plus forms, 100 plus forms, you're not going to go through them individually. You can use the spreadsheet option and you can see, okay, I have this many people from Italy, this many people from the US, this many people from Canada. Maybe there's an event happening in Canada. Okay, let me message these people that are from Canada and follow up with them. Or maybe there's an event in Europe and in Germany. Let's say next year we have the Germany event and you have people that filled out your form from Germany. Oh, let me message them. Let me follow up with them. It's good in that way. Now there's also another application, Airtable, that's really good too. And their spreadsheet or their list option is a lot more nice, visually appealing. And obviously there's a lot of things you can do with that. You can add a video at the end. Like this is another thing, if you want to link your what I do, so it kind of like kills two birds with one stone. After they fill out the form, you could totally do that. But something that I've always done is Google Forms. Again, when you create these systems for yourself, you want to do stuff that's duplicatable. Because at the end of the day, you have your team. You don't want to do all these like fancy, super fancy things because your team can't duplicate that. Sometimes it's best to have it simple so your team can duplicate. So they have the results like you do. Now, if you want to do extra things, okay, cool. But make sure that the basis of it, the foundation of it is duplicatable. Now with Calendly, of course, same thing. I'm very big on branding. Calendly, you want to make sure you have a nice professional, like a nice picture of yourself close up, of just you, not you and your dog, not you hiking through the mountains, like a picture of just you, profile picture. That's it. And obviously, you know, your little description, but Calendly is very important. It makes things professional. This again is a great funnel tool, because even people that go on your pages, they click through your links, they go through the qualification questions, and they come across your Calendly. It's like, okay, cool, I can book a call with her. Then they do it, and it's simple. Anything like these systems help. We promote these systems for a reason. If your mentors are telling you to use these systems, they're not crazy. It's worked for them. It's worked for me. I will tell you this. Google Forms, I was one of the first ones to use Google Forms. And the reason why is because I saw this other, I saw a top leader in a different company using Google Form, or actually they were using Milkshake. And that's why I started using Milkshake. And I was like, oh, this is cool. I like this, because I'm always looking for ways to systemize my funnels and just the business in general. And then I moved to Google Forms and Beacons, and it's great. I'm telling you, it's really useful. And it's a great way to automate. Now, scripts, I'm not going to go into scripts in detail because you should have the, what is this called? I just blanked out right now. You should have your scripts app. Can someone help me right now? I just completely blanked. Yes, boards. Thank you. I use boards all the time. The cool thing about boards is that you integrate it into your keyboard. And I really recommend you invest in boards. Yeah, you have a certain amount of free uses with boards, but after those free uses end, I encourage you to invest in your business. Boards will save you so much time. Those of you know that scrolling to the bottom of your IG DMs, you have to exit the app, go back in, you're scrolling all the way to the bottom again. But if you have your boards integrated, you don't have to do that because you just have it there. So a great way to leverage forms, how I was doing it, by the way, and I just want to spill the sauce for all of you, and what helped me get a lot of signups automated in an automated way, where many times I'd even wake up and see signups, is because, of course, with scripts, your regular introduction, however you do it. But before you get on the call, you want to make it a requirement to send them the form, send them your form to fill out. Like, send them that form, not just the video, send them the form. It'll make your life so much easier, because on the form, They will say whether they're invested in the investing and trading or the business or both, where they're from, their age, what they're interested in, what they'd like access to. Because in my forms, I have like, what would you like access? We get access to this and this and this. Is this something you'd like to use? They say yes. You get to know what caught their attention about you, why they want to work with you specifically, what's changed in their life from then to now that they're ready to get started with this opportunity, the pricing, the memberships. You have all that on your forms. Plus, an add-on you can have is, or like at the end of your forms, obviously making it a requirement where you make them aware to get on the call, they need to be ready to start. But once they fill out the form and you get it, you review it, and if everything is good, then you let them know, awesome, next step is to book a one-on-one. And then when you get on the call, it's so much easier. What I used to do every single time before I'd get on calls, I'd review the form and I would go through, okay, this is where they're from, whatever. So I get on the call. I'm not just getting on the call blindly and forgetting what their form said. I leverage what they have on their form and I make sure I relate it on the call. So like at the beginning of the call, I can say, hey, I noticed, obviously after the small talk and all that, at the beginning of the call, I can say, hey, I noticed that you picked the $2.99 option or the $5.99 option. That's great. Near the end, I'm going to go through the different memberships so you can see and compare. And then from there, if that is still the one that you want, we'll get you started on that today. And cool. That is posture. And that is also reinforcing their pick, what they selected on your form. And you want to say this right away. People are filling out the answers and many people are getting on calls and they're even forgetting that they picked an option. And at the end, they're like, oh, these are the memberships. Which one would you like to get started on? But they fully said on the form, they're okay with $2.99 or $5.99. So why aren't you leveraging that? And so that's a great way with the scripts, obviously, to integrate your forms into the scripts and don't hold back. Don't feel shy. Like something that completely changed the game for me, which is why I'm so insistent on these systems and why it's helped me, is because when I observe other big business people, like millionaires in business, they don't hold back from their forms, from their questionnaires where they have to get on a call with you to interview you to see if you qualify for their program. Like they don't hold back from that. And so we are here, we are network marketers, we are business people. We have to stop treating this like it's just a cute little fun hobby. It's business. We're here to build a business, and we have to treat it like such. So we have to implement these systems and make sure we're following them and not be shy about them, like really own them. One thing I want to share with all of you before we wrap up this call is think of it like this. These people see your content on social media, okay? Like they like your TikToks, they like your reels. They already see you as an authoritative figure in whatever it is you're posting. So when they message you, they're thinking, oh my God, I'm messaging, let me call it, let me pull it. Oh my gosh, I'm messaging Viviana, I'm messaging Stefania, I'm messaging Jade, I'm messaging Victoria, I'm messaging who else? Daniel. And like they're seeing you already as authority figures in whatever it is that you're talking about. That's why they message you. And a lot of you in your minds are thinking, oh, what do I say? This person messaged me. Oh my gosh. And then you're letting that nervousness lose your posture in the DMs. But they're already thinking of you as some grand person. Like, this is what you have to remember and really redirect that mindset. Because yeah, you might feel nervous. You might feel like, oh, like I want to make sure I get this person on a call. But really own your authority, own your power. Like you are someone to them that has authority over these topics. And so you need to show that in your DMs. And that's why I say, don't be afraid. Don't hold back from sending them your form. Hey, before we get on a call, I require that you fill out the form, and once you finish, send me a check mark and we'll move on to next steps. Simple. Have that authority, have that power, have that posture in the DMs. That really changed the game for me. Same thing with the pricing. When you go on your stories, you're what I do. Show up there. You own this. This is your business. This is your IG account is your store. That's your store. You own it. You say what goes on your page. You say what goes in your store. So if people don't like your prices, well, cool. You're here for the people that do and that want what you have. So with that being said, I mean, there's so much more I can go into, but I really wanted to give you a look into how to really leverage social media to generate leads the way I have, how to funnel people. Obviously, you're generating leads. You want to have a funnel system. You want to have an automated system to really make sure you're not losing out on these leads, and to make your life easier, because I know it can be overwhelming, especially when you have viral videos. But for those of you that experience viral videos or maybe have a lot of message in your DMs, making sure you have systems in place will make your life so much easier. And we're all here to grow together. We're all here to grow a business. We're all here to change lives. We're all here to change our life. And we're all here to, be champions. That's really what it is. So that's a wrap on the training. And any questions, of course, you can reach out to me specifically. And I think that's it. That's a wrap. We have these calls every single Saturday, by the way. I know before it was like once a month. For those of you that missed the memo, just in case, it's every single Saturday right now, 2 p.m. So I'll be seeing you guys next Saturday for the next session. You don't want to miss these trainings. I'm telling you, these level up calls are hosted by different mentors, different coaches, and we're here to share the value with all of you. People are paying thousands for this type of information, and you guys are getting it here. So have a good rest of your Saturday, and I'll see you guys in the chats. Bye.